So I'm checking out the page for CML Advocates Network. Let me share that in chat so you guys can give them a follow if you're interested. And we'll check out their website. Wonder what this video is. Oh, very short. Just showing the conference there. Looks like an advertisement video. Let's see if they have. Sure, you can use my cookies. That's fine. I don't mind. I wish this pop-up would go away though. That would be nice. Alright, fine. Let's see here. Check out their education and science page. Let's search YouTube for a video, see if somebody's made one on CML. Okay, these look very good. Okay, we'll check out this video
Hey guys,
first.
it's Medicosis Perfectionalis. We are back to talk about chronic myelogenous leukemia. Thanks to the people who watch my videos on YouTube and the great people who support me on Patreon, I was able to buy a new microphone to produce better audio quality for these videos that you guys like, so thank you so much. Chronic myelogenous leukemia, you have the 922 translocation, you have proliferation of all of the white blood cells except for the lymphocytes, because this is a myeloid leukemia, not a lymphoid one. So you have neutrophils, monocytes, basophils, and eosinophils that are increased in number. Chronic myelogenous leukemia. Let's break that down and let's do it backwards. Leukemia, malignancy arising from bone marrow stem cells. Any cancer is by definition monoclonal, one crazy cell. Myelogenous, which means it's of the myeloid lineage of the bone marrow. As you know, bone marrow has myeloid and lymphoid lineages. So especially the neutrophils will be numerous. It's a chronic leukemia, meaning the patients are more mature, which means older patients. The cells are more mature, which means smaller in size, which means that the blasts will be few or non-existent. Let's go back to our nice illustration here. Bone marrow, myeloid, and lymphoid lineage. In CML, chronic myeloid leukemia, we are talking about these guys. Let me ask you a question. Do you expect neutrophilia in this type of cancer? Yes. Do you expect basophilia in this type of cancer? Of course. Can eosinophilia happen? Yes, indeed. Chronic myelogenous leukemia is a chronic leukemia, which means a monoclonal disorder of the late stem cells. The cells are smaller, more mature, but dysfunctional. Being mature doesn't necessarily mean that they are functional. Hello, it's cancer. It's a chronic leukemia. Patients are older. Onset is slower. Cells are smaller and more mature. Very few blasts, less than 10%. Less than 10% is a chronic leukemia. 10 to 20% is myelodysplasia, which I've talked about before. More than 20% is an acute leukemia. Acute equals blast. Can you guess the type of leukemia by age? Roughly speaking, yes indeed. CML patients are usually between 40 years old and 60 years old. CML one of the chronic myeloproliferative disorders, which include CML, polycythemia vera, essential thrombocytosis, and myelofibrosis with myeloid metaplasia. All of these myeloproliferative disorders have common characteristics such as splenomegaly, reactive bone marrow fibrosis, and they can transform into an acute leukemia such as AML or ALL. Risk factor for CML: radiation, not any radiation, ionizing radiation, and in high doses. The age bracket, again, more than 40 years.
I just realized this is a 17-minute long video, and it's very technical. So I don't think that's quite what we're looking for, but it kind of gave me a little bit of an insight here. Let's watch this one here. Actually, even better, there's a patient talking about their journey. So we'll watch this, and then if we feel like we need to gather more information, we'll watch the CML 101 video. Sorry about that, guys. I hate to change all of a sudden, but Jeremy, thank you for the bits. Ad biddies, thank you very much for watching an ad. I know that was torture. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for the bits. Alright.
The story of CML is that of a disease that has been transformed from a fatal cancer into a chronic condition within the majority of our lifetimes. Dr. Siddhartha Mukherjee, 2011 Pulitzer Prize winner, wrote, "In 10 years, each of us, on average, will know one person with this leukemia who is being kept alive by a targeted anti-cancer drug." Chronic myeloid leukemia is a cancer of the blood and bone marrow, characterized by the presence of an abnormality called the Philadelphia chromosome. The PH chromosome produces a defective enzyme known as BCR-ABL tyrosine kinase, which is responsible for blocking the signal that tells the body to stop producing white blood cells.
Today, CML is considered the archetype for targeted therapy in hematology and oncology, with its treatment success providing hope and inspiration for a number of other diseases. The understanding and treatment of CML is a result of the collective commitment of researchers, clinicians, industry groups, and organizations such as the European Hematology Association from around the globe.
Worldwide, approximately 49,500 people will be diagnosed with CML this year. That's a path of people 13.7 kilometers long. With the recognition of
maybe I'm looking at the
BCR-ABL
wrong
as the
thing.
key driver of Philadelphia
That doesn't seem
chromosome-positive
very
CML,
rare.
management of the disease has evolved considerably.
Since the last 50 years, a tremendous effort to find out exactly what the causes of these leukemias are and to use this knowledge to develop new targeted therapies.
Although the same numbers of people are being diagnosed with CML each year, today more and more people with CML are living out their lives. This is due to a fundamental change in how this cancer is treated. Historically, evaluations of patient response to treatment focused on hematologic responses, but they have now advanced to include more sensitive techniques that can assess cytogenetic and, most recently, molecular responses. Today, these responses are measured during the course of treatment with a recommended timeline for achieving each type.
So in that sense, there has been a sea change in our methods by which we measure the response in CML.
What we're trying to do now in CML is to develop strategies to eliminate minimal residual disease. And several of these strategies are being undertaken as we speak.
The future goals for CML is to come up with a treatment that can eliminate the stem cell, the original cell that gives rise to the leukemic cells which are in the peripheral blood and promote all the symptoms of CML. The next decade or so is going to bring us very big excitement as well with the further understanding of how the leukemic stem cell is controlled and therefore trying to switch off that leukemic stem cell.
And that's the end of that one. Seems like CML isn't all that rare, but that was a very informative video, and I'm glad that I watched it. Interesting. Okay, let's see what else is here on the rare disease or rare cancer day.